And so I have not found one senator, not one congressman, nothing. And that is really aggravating because, you know, if it's on CNN, Fox News Network, or any of those, you would think that somebody in the White House would hear about it. Hey guys, so last night I was online and I was like looking all over YouTube and watching CNN and Fox News, and there was a few people that actually had the Board of Trustees meeting with the town people, and what really got to me was the fact that almost everybody that came was against the ban of guns, and even some high school students, and you know, there was like 2 or 3 people that were for the gun ban. And after that was all done and said, they all voted to ban guns. You know, last night it was really aggravating me, and so I went off on a tweeting section, and I tweeted President Trump. I don't know how many different ways I tweeted him so it would go, because now Twitter has changed it to where you can't just consistently retweet. And so I was sticking different YouTube videos of different people and articles and everything. What gets me... Okay guys, I'm doing a little bit of change of scenery. So anyway, what's getting me about this whole thing is that I am searching for anything about the president's response to this whole Deerfield, Illinois, weapons ban. This is kind of aggravating me. He's a big advocate about the Second Rights not being repealed, never being removed, and that is clearly what the Deerfield, Illinois bill is. They are literally stripping the people of their weapons. And so I have not found one senator, not one congressman, nothing. And that is really aggravating because, you know, if it's on CNN, Fox News Network, or any of those, you would think that somebody in the White House would hear about it. So I was on a tweets thing. I mean, I was tweeting up until the point to where I was just ready just to fall asleep. I was tweeting him all kinds, you know. So if you guys are watching me, if you are getting a lot of hits on your YouTube videos, it's probably because I used them. So then today, I also went on to another tweeting session, and I looked up the senators, and I was tweeting to them, and I would list the senators all at once, so I didn't have to do them, you know, one by one, because that's annoying and that's just too much work. So, but I did. I don't know how many tweets I sent out. Honest to God, I don't. I did email Trump. I emailed McConnell. I emailed Rand Paul. I emailed, God, who else did I emailed a lot of people today. I copied, pasted YouTube videos, news articles, everything. Told them where to start so that they didn't have to watch all of the bull crap. But yeah, so that is what I did, and I'm flabbergasted right now, because we have a town, a village, who is taking away the people's Second Amendment rights. They are clearly Democrats, and they don't care. They think they're making their town safe. Well, the problem with that, and this one guy, you know, he hit the nail on the head. Said social media, all of that. Said something about the Russians and then the Germans. I don't know. But he's right, because people watch that. And they just made theirself a huge target. And, you know, I don't see people giving up their guns. I see a resistance, and that's what should be. It should be a resistance, because it's unconstitutional. They cannot supersede state law. One, what they're superseding is unconstitutional, and it's against the law. And the only way a state can supersede a federal law is if a federal law is unconstitutional. So they're not going to win this fight. And the NRA is backing Guns Save Lives, or something like that. I think I want to say it wrong, because that's the way it should be said. I think it's Guns Save Life. But yeah, the NRA is backing one of them. And there was even an attorney in the board meeting that said, you know, when Highland did this, they spent $90,000 trying to beat it. And I've lived here for X amount of years. I had a blacktop road, and now I have nothing but a gravel road. So, you know, yeah, they're money hungry. $1,000 a day. Well, you know, the Democrats, you know, has anybody ever got rich being a Democrat? Well, really? No? You know, I have brought my parents up in this before, but my parents were old school. My dad yesterday would have been 98. Next month, my mom would have been 88. But they were old school Democrats, and if you think about their ages, Yeah, they lived in a time where they had to pinch pennies, and, you know, they lived through the time where, you know, everybody just kind of, they saved their money, and then they had things. They had nice things. And when they retired, they could retire and not worry about anything. Except my dad didn't like retirement. And, so, you know, my parents did have the American dream. They paid cash for our house, and, you know, our cars were paid off, and we were spoiled rotten. And, so, and my parents were Democrats, but they were old school Democrats. And, I can guarantee you, my dad wouldn't be for this gun ban. He actually had a sawed-off shotgun. Those are illegal. But he was also a staff sergeant major. I don't remember. But he was in World War II. He received a Purple Heart and a Silver Star. And, so, I'm just a little bit aggravated with this whole Deerfield, Illinois thing. And it's really great seeing so many different people in so many different states that are very upset and concerned for the people of Deerfield. And I think that if other states try to do this, that they're going to get the same reaction, and nobody's going to comply. And if they do, well, I'm sorry, you're a little bit on the stupid side. Because, as I said in several other vlogs, once somebody says, okay, yes, I will go and I'll go confiscate guns, they just sign their death certificate. Because who's going to be stupid enough to go door to door and chance being met on the other side with a gun? Now, I can tell you, you're not going to take my gun. That's just how it's going to be. You're not going to take my gun. And, you know, they're banning almost every single gun. I mean, the only thing you can have is a double-barrel shotgun, pretty much. And so, you know, we all have to fight for Deerfield, for the people. I think the people are going to fight. I think they're going to resist, and that's what they should. Because, you know, this mayor and this board of trustees completely ignored what the people of Deerfield said, how they felt, and already had their mind made up and made their decision. It was really sad. And I cannot believe I sat through over an hour and, what was it, 28 minutes? But I was listening to the residents, the people, and listening to their concerns, and listening to a high school student who didn't want the gun ban, but he was so nervous. You know, he could barely get out his words, even though he had it written down. And, you know, there were people there that were so happy to hear these kids be against this gun ban, because they said, you can take the guns away from law-abiding citizens, but the bad guys are always going to get them. And they're right. And, you know, they don't pay attention. They did not do their homework. I've done my homework, and I've said this in previous gun control vlogs. I've done the homework. cities that have the highest gun control, less gun ownership, have the highest crimes. Cities and states that have the highest gun ownership have the lowest gun crime. I live in Kentucky. They have no idea how many people own guns. They have no idea how many firearms are out here. We do not have to register our guns. We do have to go for a background check when we purchase a gun. If there's anything questionable on your background, there is a waiting period. After that waiting period, you either get a yes or no, and then you get to buy your gun or not. If you decide you want concealed carry and you do everything you have to do to become concealed carry, you go for a federal background check, and that can take, it depends on when you put it in. It can take about a month, and then you get your concealed carry. And but we don't register our guns. So the only thing that Kentucky can go by is concealed carriers and background checks. But that's it. And we can sell to personal people. We don't have to go before somebody else to sell them. So I have a friend that collects guns, and every so often he wants to sell one so I can get something else, and so he'll let certain people know that he has them for sale, and everybody knows people that they're not supposed to sell them to. So anyway, so I'm just curious to see. I was gonna call the White House today, and I never got around to it. So maybe tomorrow I might do that. I don't know, but I hope there's more people out there that's being more active than just making vlogs. So that's all I have for you guys today. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. My husband's off for the weekend. It usually depends on how he's feeling, how often I make vlogs on the weekends. So, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Please contact any of the state or U.S. senators of Illinois. Please contact all or any one of them.